welcome back to my channel where we talk all things food and fitness. Today I am bringing you my top 5 tips to help you get back on track after maybe more of an indulgent day or maybe a cheat day, whatever you want to call it. So if you like this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and subscribe, and let's get into tip number 1. Tip number 1 is hydration. So you'll find if you've overindulged or maybe if you went out for a meal like I did, when you wake up in the morning you are feeling a bit puffy, you've got a bit more water retention and generally feeling a bit sluggish. And that is because you'll find that there is more salt in meals when you're eating out compared to home cooking, and it's because it adds flavour. So your body is trying to deal with the extra sodium that it has inside, so we're going to help flush it out with plenty of water. The recommended daily intake for water is 2 to 2.5 litres, so if you can achieve that then great. Any more than that is a bonus. So try to aim for roughly 2 to 2.5 litres of water to help flush some of that sodium out. If you're somebody who also suffers with bloating after overindulging, then I highly recommend peppermint tea. So usually in the morning I have a coffee, but coffee can be quite dehydrating. So I opted for a peppermint tea to help hydrate me and also to alleviate some of that bloating that I was experiencing after a bit of overeating last night. So there is tip number 1. Hydration is key. Get that water down you, and if you've got some bloating, try peppermint tea. Tip number 2 is to eat when you are hungry. So you'll find after you've overindulged the night before, you'll either be in one of 2 camps. Either the camp that thinks, well, I'm up and I usually have breakfast at this time, I'm not hungry but I'll eat anyway. Or the other camp that thinks, I ate loads last night, I don't really want to consume any more calories, I'm going to restrict today and skip breakfast. But my message to you is to throw both of those out the window, to really listen to your body and to think, am I hungry? So I woke up at 8 o'clock this morning. I'm somebody who usually jumps out of bed and is absolutely starving and goes straight for breakfast. But I wasn't feeling that hungry. I could have ate. Instead, I decided to wait. I had some water, had my peppermint tea, and I didn't actually end up having my breakfast until around 10:30. And even then, I opted for something which was a bit lighter on my stomach. So you'll see in a minute, I opted for a smoothie bowl, which isn't like me because we all know that I'm a pancake girl. I just wasn't feeling something super heavy before going to the gym. So I'll insert here what I had for breakfast. Was still light, still filling though, and it was around 330 calories, so probably on par with what I would usually eat. I just went for something that felt a little bit lighter, so when I hit the gym I didn't feel sort of heavy in my stomach and I could still get on with my workout. So that is tip number 2. Really listen to your body. Eat when you are hungry, because that is your body trying to tell you that you need fuel. So despite what you might have ate yesterday, please eat if you are feeling hungry. This brings me nicely onto tip number 3, which is don't restrict. And most people will have an indulgent meal the night before and then feel like they have to compensate or cut their calories back and restrict the following day. And this can lead to a very dangerous binge and restrict cycle, which we definitely don't want to get into. So I highly encourage you to, as I said before, listen to your body and consume the same amount of calories that you would any other day. So typically I tend to stick to around 1,750 calories a day. I will be hitting that calorie goal today despite what I ate yesterday, because the whole point of this is that we are getting back on track, not that we're trying to restrict ourselves in any way. I highly encourage you to not skip meals, not cut the calories, leave yourself feeling hungry, because then you'll find the next day you'll just end up eating more and you'll end up in this cycle. So stick to your normal calories, your normal routine, get back on track as you usually would. Maybe you can move your meal times around to fit in when you're feeling hungry, but make sure that you're not skipping any kind of meals or calories to try and claw back some of the extra calories you ate the night before. Tip number 4 is to exercise. As you can see, I am off to the gym, and this is not to burn last night's calories, but to instead use them as fuel to get a really good workout. So I obviously ate a lot more carbs than I usually would last night, and they are now stored in my body as energy. So I'm going to make sure I hit the gym, I'm pushing the weights, I'm pushing myself physically, because I should have extra energy in my body to get a really good workout in. If you're feeling a little bit sluggish after overindulging, moving your body is the best thing that you can do. It doesn't have to be intense if you don't want it to. You can just stretch, do a bit of yoga, do a bit of Pilates if you feel. But I am feeling like I have got the extra energy in my body to be able to go and really push a good shoulder and back session. So I'm going to use all that glycogen stored up in my muscles from yesterday's rice, and I'm going to go and lift heavy in the gym. So if you can get to the gym the next day, then by all means do, and look at this as a means not to burn calories, but instead to put those to good use to have a really good workout, because theoretically you're probably in the best position to lift your heaviest and work your hardest because you've got more fuel to burn. And last but not least, tip number 5 is to focus your meals on whole foods. Looking for a protein source, a carb source, and packing our plate full of vegetables, which are going to keep us fuller for longer. You'll see for my lunch and dinner today, that's what I focused on, making sure my plate was packed full, but it was going to fill me up. I was still meeting my calorie goal for the day, but I was really concentrating on getting whole, wholesome, nutritious food back into my body after indulging yesterday. If you follow me on Instagram, you'll know that I'm always preaching about simple meals with literally a protein, a carb, veg and a fat source, making sure you've got a whole well-rounded balanced plate at every meal to keep you full for longer, because your meals are actually satisfying. I hope you found this video useful. The underlying message is, yes, we all indulge, yes, it's part of life, no, we shouldn't feel guilty for it, and it's about not throwing in the towel and thinking, right, well, I've had an indulgent day, so I'll have an indulgent weekend, and just getting back on track the next day, getting back into the flow, sticking to the plans, going back to eating healthy again, going back to exercising again, actually enjoying the more indulgent meals that you do eat, because we're human, we're supposed to enjoy ourselves. We can't be on a diet every day. It's about what you do the next day that makes it count. So hydration, no calorie restricting, eating when you're hungry, exercise and concentrating on whole foods will help you get back on track the next day after a cheat day. If you enjoyed this video, I've got many more food related videos. Last week I went vegan for the day, so you can watch that, and I've got more sort of taste testing and what I eat in a day videos coming up. So please subscribe and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.